Hi there! In today's video, we are going to continue to talk about the last topic, which is pattern of organization. So in the last meeting, you already learned a lot about listing and sequence patterns. Now, it is time for us to move on to the other two patterns, which are comparison and cause effect. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Comparison and contrast. The writer uses this pattern to show how two things are similar and or different. Well, this pattern can be separately used depending on the things the writers want to highlight. So if the paragraphs cover both similarities and differences, it is called as comparison pattern. However, if the paragraph includes only the differences, it means that the pattern used is contrast pattern. And here I have some list of signal words for comparison and contrast pattern. Start from the signals for difference. Here we have however, but, unlike, on the other hand, in contrast, a while, although, conversely, instead, yet, rather, different from, more than, and less than. So other signals are any comparative forms of adjectives or adverbs, such as older, faster, and so on. While for the signals for similarity, they are like, both, similarly, in the same way as, same, also, and in common. Well, let's see this example. So read this paragraph carefully and pay attention to the underlined signal word. You can pause this video for a moment to read the paragraph. After that, you can replay the video. Alright, so after reading this paragraph, we know that this is about two cities, which are New York and San Francisco. So if you see closely, in the first line until the third line, we can find several signal words showing the similarities between the two cities. While for the rest line, they show the differences between the two cities. It means that this paragraph is a comparison paragraph. Now, the main idea for this paragraph is there are both similarities and differences between New York and San Francisco. As you can see here, when stating the main idea of comparison paragraph, you should explain that there are both similarities and differences as well found in the paragraph. Okay, now you can try to find the main idea as what I have explained you before. Pause now and read this short paragraph. If you are ready, you can play this video again. Alright, let's identify the signal word first and also their references in this paragraph. Here, first, we have a signal word of both. After that, we have both again, and the third is another likeness, and the fourth is further similarity. After that, however, and next is while, and the last and is on the other hand. Well, what are the difference of the signal words? What do you think? Let's start from the verb signal word, which is both. So here, both, it refers to the first similarity between New York and Paris, which is their dependence on fast subway systems. What about the second, both? Alright, so this is the references of the similarity between the two cities. After that, we have another likeness. What is the reference of the signal words? Right, so it refers to very noisy train between the two cities. And the last is a further similarity. So this is the last signal word to show the similarity between two cities, and it refers to the large area or little expense for the commuter in the both cities of New York and Paris. On the other hand, here we have however. So here, however, is a signal word that show you the shifting pattern from the similarity to the difference. This signal word of however, it refers to the difference between the two cities. So the first signal word, however, here I repeat, it refers to the big difference between New York City and Paris. What about while? Okay, so for while, so the next difference is that the New York stations are ugly and some of the Paris are quite beautiful. And the last signal word that show about the difference is on the other hand, which it refers to the Paris trains, which are clean and reliable, while New York trains are unreliable and dirty. Well, now you already know about the signal words and their references. So next question is, does this paragraph contain similarities or differences or both? So what is the answer for this question? Yep, right. This paragraph contains both similarities and differences. And next question is, what is the main idea then? Okay, so the main idea here, my answer for this question. So the main idea for this paragraph is that the subway system of Paris and New York are similar, but there are also some striking differences. Well, if you have different sentence to this main idea, it will be fine as long as the idea you have is just the same with this answer. Now, what if the paragraph contains similar points only? Well, it is still called as a comparison pattern because by its definition, comparison covers similarity and or difference. So it is very possible if a paragraph contains the similarity only. Now let's read this paragraph and show me the main idea. You can pause the video from now on so you can read the paragraph more carefully. Alright, what is your answer for this paragraph? Let's discuss start from its signal words. Here we have three signal words which are in common, like it and both. So what are the references for these signal words? Start from in common. Okay, so this signal word of in common, it shows us an aspect of Ukraine and Japan cooking. While the second signal word like it shows us the similarity between two countries, which are their pastries with meat. And the last signal word is both, and it refers to the way the two cities eat their food with the sauce. So next questions are, does this paragraph contain similarities or differences or both? And what is the main idea of this paragraph? Okay, so what is your answer for these two questions? Well, for the first question, yes, this paragraph contains similarities only. And what is the main idea? Here I have the answer. So the similarities of Ukraine and Japan is that their people like to eat a very similar food. Well, if you have different answer, it will be okay as long as your sentence covers the exact same idea to this answer. Now let's proceed to the contrast pattern. Well, contrast patterns show differences only. Okay, to know about this, let's read this paragraph and you should pay attention to the underlined words. Well, after reading this paragraph, let's find the references of each signal word here. The first one is while before, after that formerly, and but not now. In contrast, while they used to, anymore, unlike, and the last is difference. Let's start from the first signal word of while before. Okay, so this signal word show us the difference condition after and before the baby arrival, which is the alarm clock. And formerly, It shows us the different condition or the different habit that the parents had before and after the arrival of baby, and but not now. So it indicates that after having the baby, the parents admire more about their infant. After that, we have in contrast. So it shows us the different condition that the parents is more carefully in planning their life. After that, we had well they used to, and it shows us the different habit that the parent have, which is if they want to go out, they have to arrange more, or it means that they cannot go out whenever they want to. After that, we have any more. So it indicates that after having the baby, the parents must arrange a babysitter, and we have another signal word which is unlike, and it shows us that the condition of the apartment before the arrival of the baby, and the last is difference. Show it show us the changing topic conversation after having the baby, which is more about the baby. So these are about the differences, uh, or about the contrast pattern of a paragraph. Okay, still about contrast paragraph or contrast patterns. For this pattern, I have two questions. The first one, does this paragraph contain similarities, differences, or both? Yes, we already talked about that before, that this paragraph contains the differences only. And after that, what is the main idea? So for this pattern, you need to take a look closer to the main idea. Here it is the answer. So the main idea of this paragraph is that the arrival of first baby in a household makes several changes. Okay, so by reading this, you know that when writing the main idea of this contrast pattern, you can tell us about the different points toward the things compared, and you can also add up by showing the differences as well. Okay, I think that is easy enough for you. So again, this is the main idea of this contrast paragraph. Well, it is time for you to do this exercise. Let's read the instruction first. So the first thing, you need to find the signal word, and after that uh, explain the details or the references of the signal word and find the main idea. So you can pause your video and read the paragraph more carefully. When you are ready, you can play the video again. So how is it going? Okay, so let's begin the discussion by underlining the signal words. Okay, here I have in both places, this is the first signal word. After that we have similarity, and the last is resembles or also resembles. So here are the signal word of this paragraph and also the references. Remember, the signal words are the words that give you the clue to what the items are compared or contrast. So every signal word should refer to a particular item being compared or contrast. And the first signal word is in both places. So it refers to the ideas about education, that you must be responsible student, and the second signal is similarly, so it show us that as student you can make your friends, and the last is also resemble, it explain about the many students activities. Now what is the main idea of this paragraph? Here I have my answer. So the main idea of this paragraph is, in some ways, college life is very similar to high school life. Okay, it is very possible if you have different answer, as long as the idea you have is similar to this answer. Well, now it is time for you to do second paragraph. Pause the video, read the paragraph carefully, find the signal words, find the references, and show me the main idea of this paragraph. Alright, so this is the answer for the second paragraph. As you can see here, I already show you the differences, the signal words, and also the details or references as well. And the main idea of this paragraph, which is the University of Bologna is different from most North American university for some aspects. So what is your answer? Great. Your answer is again very possible if you have different sentence or different chosen word in creating the main idea, as long as the idea that you have is similar to this answer. Now let's do the last paragraph and you can pause the video. Well, here are the answers. Check by yourself whether your answers are correct or not. Now let's move on to the last pattern of organization, which is cause and effect. So what is cause-effect pattern? So this is the pattern which is used to show how one event or condition is caused by another. And how to identify this pattern? So causes and effects are part of our daily life. So therefore their pattern is found very often in history books, science books, and also novel as well. That is why it is important to recognize the cause-effect pattern when you read. However, it is not as easy as the other three patterns. Now look at the simple example here. Here I have two events. First is I forgot my umbrella this morning, and the second is I was cut in the morning. And the question is what happened first and what happened next? Okay, so the first event that happened is forgot the umbrella, and the second event is cut in the rain. So the cause of this situation is forgot umbrella, and after that time passes, and the effect of the was that the effect of the events, the effect of forgetting the umbrella is that I was caught in the rain. So as you can see here, a cause effect sentence does not always put the cause first. Look at the example A and B, and at the example A, the cause written first, and after that we have the effect, such as in because I forgot my umbrella. So this is the cause, and the effect is I was caught in the rain. Or it can be switch, like in example B. I was caught in the rain because I forgot my umbrella. However, both sentences are correct, and it can happen in this cause-effect pattern. And in both sentences, because is the signal word, it stays with the part of the sentence that tell the cause, even if the cause comes after the effect in the sentence. In order to understand the cause-effect pattern, here you can use this question. You can ask yourself what happened first, then you will know the cause. Now let's do this cause-effect exercise. Okay, look at here. Read each sentence. Here I have 5 sentences, and after that decide which is the cause and which is the effect. You can write C for cause and E for effect. And after that you can draw an arrow from the cause to the effect. Look at the example here. Carbon dioxide emissions produce global warming. Okay, so for this example, we can see that the cause of this sentence is carbon dioxide emission. This is the cause, and the effect is the global warming. Okay, let's do number 1 until number 5. You can pause this video a moment. Okay, so what are your answer for this exercise? Let's start from number 1. Coal burning factories cause acid rain, an easy one. So the cause here, it is clear that the coal burning factories, this is the cause, and the acid rain is the effect. And for the second question or second statement, Stricter anti-pollution laws can lead to higher prices for consumers. So here the cause is stricter anti-pollution laws, and the effect is higher process for consumers. And for the third statement, the death of lakes and streams can result from excess rain. Okay, what do you think about this time? Yes, it is started with the effect first. That the effect is the death of the lakes and the streams, and the cause is it is because the excess rain. For number four, so the effect is forests have become diseased, and for the cause is excess rain again. And what about the last number? Okay, so at this time, the cause is stated uh, in prior to the effect. So the cause is coal burning, and the effect is higher level of sulfur dioxide. Now, let's see this example of cause effect paragraph. Okay, here you can read that when the main idea is that one event or action causes another, authors use the cause effect pattern. Like in this example, this is about the Exxon Valdez oil tanker that spilled million gallons of oil in Alaska. Okay, now you can read by yourself the paragraph and you can pause a moment. Well, here we have the signal words used in this paragraph, which are underlined here. The first is consequences, second is resulted, after that we have has, cause, and the last is impact. Now, based on these signal words, we can know that those signal words show us about the cause and also the effect. Now, how to formulate the main idea of this pattern? Look at my example here. So the main idea for the example is the oil spill in Alaska resulted. Here you can choose the signal word of resulted to show the pattern of cause effect in a paragraph. I continue. The main idea of this paragraph is the oil spill in Alaska resulted in many harmful effects on animals. And the signal words, those signal words underlined in the paragraph, call your attention to each cause and effect that the author mentions. Well, an interesting fact is that sometimes a single cause can impact many effects, and vice versa. A single effect is a result of several causes, and for this problem, it is called as a multiple causes and effects. So look at these two examples. Here I have example A, and this is the paragraph for example A and example B. Now, as you can see here, for example A, this is an example for a single cause that can produce many effects. Okay, for this first example, what is the cause and what are the effects? Okay, so the cause for this first example, that is the Hurricane Iniki. So this is the cause, and what are the effects? The effects are the first, all telephone lines were out of order, and the second, the airport was closed, and third, thousands of homes were damaged, and hotels were washed away, and tourist holidays were ruined, and the last, in many Kauaians lost their jobs. So there are the effects of single cause of Hurricane Iniki. And for example, here we can see an example paragraph of a single effects that is the result of several causes. So in this following paragraph, what is the effect and what are the causes? Right, so the effects is the company, which is Rosen Yogurt Company, closed its shop. So this is the effect. What are the cause? Right, the first one is the poor economy, and after that, second cause is fewer customers and higher prices for supplies, and after that, the cause is also about bills for electricity and water. And the last cause is it is because the landlord decided to double the rent. So here are the example of multiple causes and effect. Well, fun fact is that it is also possible that single cause leads to single effect, which leads to another effect and another. And this is known as a chain reaction. Look at the example C. Here we can see a chain of reaction. So, okay, look at here. I have a paragraph about the war in Vietnam. Here and here is the chain reaction. As you can see here, there are a lot of arrows here, and we cannot decide it which is the cause and which is the effect, because they are always that intercorrelated each other. So this, for this problem, it is caused as a chain reaction, which has become part of multiple cause effects pattern. Okay, so we come to the exercise part again. Okay, read the paragraph, find the cause and effect, and after that write the main idea. Pause your video from now on. Alright, so how is the thing going? What do you think about this paragraph? Does this paragraph have a single cause or several causes? Okay, now let's see. So it has a single cause and also a single effect, and the cause is that about the increased use of daycare, and the effect is more ear infections. And this is the main idea. Okay, you can pay attention to the way how we formulate the idea related to this cause effect pattern. So here the main idea is the increased number of ear infection in children is because of the increased use of daycare. So you need to mention the cause and the effect as well. Now do the same for the second paragraph. Pause your video and answer the question. Find the main idea and also find the cause or the causes and the effect or the effects. Okay, so in this paragraph we have one or single cause and several effects. And the cause is untreated ear infection, while the effects, we have three effects. The first one, it causes general illness and it can be damage to hearing ability, and the last, it can delay proper language development. And for the main idea, here I have my version. So the main idea for this paragraph is that an untreated ear infection can lead to several serious consequences. So if you have different sentence to this main idea, that will be okay as long as your answer has similar line to the answer here, similar idea to this answer. Okay, now let's review all patterns of organization that we have learned by answering these exercises. I have 10 statements here, and you need to identify the pattern, whether it is listing or consequence or comparison contrast or cause effect. You can write the letter of the pattern: L for listing, S for sequence, CC for comparison and contrast, and CE for cause effect. Now you can pause a moment, and after that we can discuss or check your answer together. Alright, so what is your answer for number one? So the first statement is the high cost of newspaper in some countries is one simple reason why fewer people read them. So what is the pattern of this statement? Yes, this is cause effect. What about number two? While television reporting may be more immediate, newspaper reporting is often more complete. Look at here. So what is the pattern here? Right, it is cause comparison contrast, sorry. And for number three, already mentioned here, already provided here, it is listing. Do your children watch too much television? Here are a few simple steps for limiting television viewing without causing a major family battle. So this is listing. And for number four, When radio was at its height, it was the focus of much family and social activity. So what is the pattern of this sentence? Right, this is sequence. What about number 5? One sure way to create a poor reader is to put a child in front of a television set all day. So what is it about? So what is the pattern? Right, this is cause effect. And after that, we have the technology of television. Certainly has come a long way since its invention over 50 years ago. Okay, so what is this what is the pattern? Right, this is sequence of event. And for number 7, recent research has shown that violence on television can cause violent behavior among children. So what is the pattern at this time? Right, this is cozy back. And after that, we have the next statement. Television advertising is far more effective than advertising in magazine or newspaper. What is the pattern here? This is comparison and contrast. Good. And then, after that, we have television has had an enormous influence on politics in recent decades. So what do you think about this? What is the pattern? Yes, this is listing. And one last, the first television advertisement from the 1950s would now seem very simple and obvious to us. So what is the pattern? Right, that is comparison and contrast. So we come to the end of this section. Thank you for watching and happy studying.